everyone. Welcome to the Zone to Speak podcast. I'm your host, Juliana. Hi, everyone. At Zone to Speak, I know how important it is to stay healthy, strong, and ready for every ride, workout, and adventure. That's why I have got exclusive discounts on some of my favorite products designed specifically for athletes like you. Psych Plus, their smart pump is a game changer, compact, efficient, and perfect for keeping your tires road and gravel ready. Plus, they have radar tail lights, smart trainers, smart fans, and more. Get 10% off the smart pump and 5% off everything else. 20% off First Endurance, top-tier endurance nutrition for serious athletes or weekend warriors. From hydration to recovery, their science-backed products help you go the distance. 35% off Frey Skincare. Skincare made for athletes, designed for skin that sweats. Their all-natural, vegan, and cruelty-free products keep your skin protected and fresh. I have been using Frey for years, and I love it, and you can see it in my skin. 10% off Cold Age. Premium vitamins and supplements to fuel your body, speed up recovery, and help you ride longer. I personally take the Women's Fermented Multivitamin and Creatine, both powder and capsules. 10% off Clearly Not Coffee, the ultimate coffee alternative made from functional ingredients to fuel your focus and energy without the caffeine crash. Try it out. 10% off Ombre supplements. Whether you are training, recovering, or pushing for peak performance, their high-quality supplements have you covered. And there's something special for me, your host, Juliana. I am a certified integrative health nutrition expert and holistic life coach, and I'm thrilled to offer 25% off personalized nutrition and life coaching with Genki Wellness. If you want to optimize your health or simply feel your best, head to bemoregenki.com and use the code ZONE2SPEAK. For all the discounts, check out the episode description and use code ZONE2SPEAK at checkout and let these amazing products support your health and performance. Now, let's get into the episode. Welcome back to Zone to Speak. Today, I am thrilled to welcome a powerhouse in the world of gravel racing, Svenja Betz. From the road to the rough and unpredictable terrain of gravel, Svenja has carved her own path, taking on some of the toughest races and proving herself as one of the strongest riders in the scene. She's the 2024 Unbound XL winner and has many other great results, all while studying for her biology and sports master's degree. In this episode, I will dive into her journey from road to gravel racing, her mindset as an athlete, and the philosophies that guide her. We will also talk about what's next for her and what excites her most about the evolving gravel scene. Let's get into it. Svenja, welcome to Zone to Speak.
Hello, thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely pleasure. Thanks for being here.
And thanks for a very nice intro. I get goosebumps.
Oh, it's all you. It's all you. I didn't do anything. I just wrote it.
Thanks.
So you started your career in road racing. What inspired you to transition to gravel?
Actually, it happened by accident. I just registered for a gravel race in 2022 just because I needed something else. And I had a cross bike in the garage. So I registered for the UCI race in Poland. And I went there together with my mom and I did the race. Like, it was one of the best experiences I did so far. And I met super, super cool people. For example, Nathan Haas. He inspired me quite a lot. He was one of the first pros who was actually like talking to me, because in the road scene, I always had the feeling that people are a bit like, oh, like, we're super cool. Like, we're not really talking to like the small ones. Like, it's not general for everyone, but sometimes I had the feeling, and in the gravel world, it was the complete different. So I felt so welcome. And yeah, then I just continued doing more races and found my way in the gravel scene.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have that feeling. I come from triathlon and I never felt it was, I mean, I don't want to say unwelcoming, but when I went into gravel, I was just like, oh my gosh, people are so nice here. What's happening in triathlon? But yeah, the gravel scene, it's so nice. It doesn't matter what you look like, what bike you have, what is your result. Everybody welcomes you and it's happy that you're showing up and you're at the start line.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like in the race, of course, you're like racing against each other. But after a race, you say hello and you share a room the next race because you just met and you get friends. And
yeah,
it's just a very nice scene, and it's cool to be inside it and also to be like there from the beginning on.
absolutely. Yeah. But you had good results on road cycling as well. But as you went to Poland and did this UCI race, you fell in love and then you just went full on gravel, or are you still going back and forth a little bit?
So in 2022, I did both. So I combined road with gravel, but I realized that gravel is my world and I do enjoy it much more than the road cycling. Also because on the road, I often crashed in the peloton and I kind of started with a fear in my body already on the starting line, just, because of the crashes I had. And the gravel racing was just a bit like more relaxed and also more nature related. So I had the opportunity to join a team where I can focus on gravel. So I did this, and then together with Svenja in 2023, I did a pure gravel season. And I did 2 road races, but I realized that's not my world anymore. I do enjoy the gravel racing much more. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big gravel rider, wouldn't say racer. And yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, but I'm biased. And you had made some comments before. I know you have done UCI races, but you had commented before that you prefer the Gravel Earth series. So why is that?
So I started with the UCI races, and I also had very good results in the first year. And then I did the World Championships in Italy when it was the first time. And oh my gosh, it was such a crazy feeling to be there at the start line. Like I was first row, and I get goosebumps by just thinking about it. It was such an amazing event, but like you did the start, and there was such a different feeling than in the races I did before, because there were so many road cycling people, and the atmosphere was so different. So you realized, okay, this is not really gravel. And then also the UCI races are a bit short sometimes. So it's like, I prefer the longer races. And also there's so many road cycling, involved that it's not the original gravel scene, what it is in my mind to be a gravel racer. So it's not just you're on off-road and you're on a gravel bike. It's also a bit like you're going for a little adventure. You're sharing your experiences with with the people around you, and it's a bit less this like focusing on just power and just being a professional. So in the Gravel Earth series, I always had the feeling there's like everyone is welcome. Like it doesn't matter if you're a professional or if you're just riding your bike because you love it and you have a full-time job next to it. And then also the adventures and the experiences I took out of a Gravel series race. They were so much like more and more intense. So the UCI races I like a lot because like you can go to different countries and you can race, like go there, race, go back, but it's not like experience gravel thing. So in my mind, the pure gravelers are more into these like Tracker and the Rift in Iceland and these kind of races.
Yeah, I agree. The alternative gravel scene is, to me as well, the original gravel spirit of community. I think UCI has its value, but it is a different vibe. I agree with you. So you done the Rift. I done the Rift as well.
Yeah, Yeah, I did it.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Like, I can just like recommend it to everyone.
Yeah.
It's like, this is, in my mind, this is a pure gravel race. Like, of course you go for like a good result and you go full gas and you go like, you just put out everything you have. But in the end, you have such a big experience, even if you're just finishing the race in like, it doesn't matter in what time. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I love it. The year I went, there was a lot of rain before the race, so there were so many the rivers were so full of water, so there were so many river crossing, like all type of gravel, and I mean, and just the scenery is just so breathtaking. It's like you're riding in another planet.
Yeah, exactly.
And it is such a cool vibe. Yeah. And so we were Santaval just passed not long ago, and you were not able to make it. Did something come up, or was this a conscious choice not to be here?
Yeah, it was an unfortunate case because I started my teacher job this year in January. Like, now I can't focus 100% on cycling, so I have a job and it's quite full time. So like, now my focus is on like becoming a teacher in sports and biology in high school. So I had an important event at my school, so I had to cancel Santaval. Unfortunately, yeah, I tried everything to be there because also my Castelli teammates were there and they launched our project. But yeah, sometimes this is life, and yeah, there's more than cycling, so I needed to focus on different things this time. But I'm really looking forward to the next events where I hopefully can be part of.
Yeah, it's a tough act, balancing everything. I don't know how you do it and competing such a high level. How is it like a usual day for you? How is your training schedule?
Yeah, like, now there's a really big change in my life because like until last year I had quite a lot of free time and I could do my studies around my training more or less. But now it's totally the different way. So now I have to put my training around my schedule, and I'm more or less the whole day in school or in my like school to become a teacher. So either I'm teaching or I get taught. But yeah, it's a bit less training now, of course, and also like I do a lot of hard interval sessions because it's just quick. But I try to use the weekends for longer rides. But still, it's a big change, and I try to still be competitive. I'm sure it's gonna be a bit less than last year, and of course, there's less races because I can't go away every weekend. I just need the time to prepare my subject. So yeah, I'm also a bit curious about the upcoming season, and I try to balance both of it, even if I need to focus a bit more on the teacher side. But I just love the gravel and the cycling so much, and it's my passion. So I also use it as a side effect to just calm down and to get a free head. So it's now when I go out for a bike ride and I can be on the air and just get some sun in my face. It's like so enjoyable, and I appreciate every single minute on my bike even more than I did before. And this is actually a super nice feeling.
Yeah, yeah. And I think a lot of us do it also for mental health. It's just such a good feeling to get out there and do something for us and get the fresh air and be more connected with nature, do some exercise, get all those good, happy hormones going. I hope you find the balance. I'm sure you will. It's just a matter of time. And I also have a full-time job and I do the podcast for fun, and I have to fit in the training as well, like most of us. And so on the weekends when I can spend a block of hours on my bike is definitely a little bit more gratitude, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. I think in the end, it's you need a routine, and then you need a good time efficient plan. And
Yeah.
I think the part that you start enjoying the bike rides even more is a very nice side effect. So yeah, it's, of course, if you compare yourself with pro athletes who are doing just cycling and then they go home and lie down on the couch and just do their recovery, it's a bit like, okay, how shall I compete against them? But on the other hand side, it's like, yeah, life is just so much more than just cycling. So I'm actually quite happy that I did this decision and to combine both now.
Yeah, I think so too. And, you can see how it goes. Can always, make adjustments.
Yeah, exactly. So now this is 1.5 years for sure. And then there's still time if I really feel to go back to going as like cycling as a professional, I can still do that. And otherwise, maybe I'm just saying like, okay, I love my job as a teacher, so just combine it.
And are all the sponsors okay with that decision?
Yeah, like I hope so. Yeah, I talked to them before I did the contract with them, and they all said like, we're happy to support you, and you just like your story and your spirit. So I'm super happy to have them next to me.
Wonderful.
And yeah, I'm.
That's great to hear. You still have support.
Yeah, I'm actually super proud of my sponsors this year, and it's also my first year as a privatier. So there's a lot of work, like to organize everything. But I really do like it, and I'm now independent. So yeah, it's in a way also a bit easier.
And you have an academic background, as we mentioned here and there, in sports biology. Does the knowledge play a role in your approach to training and recovery?
Yeah, I would say it does. Like not 100%, or it's not that I ask everything and like why do I do this and why do I do this or something, but especially for example nutrition wise, like I have some knowledge which I of course can use. So yeah, it's a pretty nice job. And also now for the teaching, like the sports and my kids in school, they're like, oh, you're cycling, or like you did play football. And I'm like, yeah, when I was younger, I did play football. And they're like, oh, wow. So this is super cool. And then just show them how good sport is. This is a nice way. Yeah.
Yeah, that must be a very nice influence.
Yeah, exactly.
In them. I think sports, it's a great tool for kids and teenagers. You're teaching high school, so it really, I think, gives them more leveled head and confidence in life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you choose which races you're going to compete in? Do you prioritize the specific types of courses, competition levels? I mean, we talked about race vibes. So that I understood a little bit more now, but
yeah, so also this changed a lot because this year I'm dependent from the school holidays.
Oh, that's right.
So I looked up when I have holidays, and then if there's a race, and is there enough time to get there and to get back in time. So this was actually quite limited this year. There's many races I would have liked to do, but they're just outside of holidays, so they just don't work. But there are also a few which are in the holidays, so then I can focus on them. And then I also have the big summer holidays in the summer, so I guess there are some opportunities to do some races. And also normally like I chose a bit where can I have a big adventure and like create experiences. And I also like to do races, like if I did it once, I often like it to do it a second time, but probably not a third time. So I always need something new and to get to new places. And then also it's also dependent on the date when it is and if it fits. But in the former years, I was like, I went to like nearly every weekend we went to a race because they were just like, oh, let's go there. Oh no, there's a nice race. Let's go there. So when I was free and doing it, that was such a like cool way to experience different races. But now I need to be a bit more specific and also a bit more planned.
Yeah. Well, it's great you took full advantage before. And now I think at least as a teacher, you get most of the summer off and there's a lot happening during the summer. So hopefully that works out well.
Yeah, exactly. So there's quite a lot of holidays, and I hope I can like use them and go like to some races and just relax a bit and not to be too focused on school things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn to balance, like all of us, you have to unplug and disconnect from work as well, to find balance.
Yes, I think this is very important. And yeah, I think the sports and also like the gravel races, they also help me. And then, yeah, you can look forward to your work again when you had a great racing weekend.
Yeah. I was once on vacation, and the first day my work phone fell and broke in so many pieces. It was unusable, and I completely freaked out. But then it was the best thing that ever happened to me because I totally disconnected, and I was like, wow, this was actually healthy. I need to do this more often. So that was a very good experience for me.
Completely disconnected from everything. That's the best. That's true.
So let's talk Unbound. I never raced or experienced anything in the US, even though I lived there. When I lived there, I wasn't racing bikes. You won the Unbound XL, which was massive. Tell me a little bit how it is to race in the US. Is Unbound all the hype that it's made up to be? And can you take me inside the race of your own experience? Sorry, it's a very heavy loaded question.
Yeah. So first, I think it's really cool to be at Unbound at least once in your lifetime if you're a gravel racer, to experience it yourself, how the vibe is. I was there first time last year, like 2023, and I did the 200 miles. And I was there like a week before, and oh my gosh, but it was such a great week just to feel the vibes, to have this Unbound experience. The race itself wasn't that great, but to just be there, to explore the gravel scene there and the races and stuff, that was really amazing. So if you have the chance, just go to Unbound. And this year, like 2024, when I did Unbound XL, I was there the second time, and it wasn't that excited anymore because it was like, the expo, where it is everything. You actually meet some people again. So that wasn't that special anymore. But of course, it was special to be there to race another race. And I signed up for the XL because, I thought it's maybe a good idea. And I'm pretty good in these like longer races, but it was also my first long race. So like I did the 300 before, but not a 570. And so that was really excited. And the few days before the start were quite hectic, and I didn't feel very well. Like I was very nervous, and also the atmosphere around me wasn't that great. And then I had a good friend there, and he just said, like, Svenja, go, you can win this. Like, just go. And then I met him at the start, and we were just talking, and we said, like, good luck to each other. And then the first 60K, we were like in one big group together with the man as well. And he was actually guiding me through. He helped me, like he said, there's a mud or something. And in the end, he was the winner in the men category. So Sebastian Breuer. And when I realized I'm going to win the women's category, because like there were like a 3-hour gap to the next woman, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a cool experience to have your friend winning the other category. And but it was like,
That's amazing. You guys took off together, supported each other, encouraged each other, and then finished both, share the podium.
Exactly. And in between, I was actually leading the whole time, but in between I was just so like, I was suffering, and the last 10 hours, like literally the last 10 hours were just a really big pain. Like it was just awful. But I knew, okay, you're going to win if you continue. And then like 100K or 200K before the finish line, I realized Sebastian won. And then I was like, okay, I need to go to the finish line now because I want to meet him.
It gave you that push to keep going.
Yeah, of course, it was still a long way to go. But then in the end, I finished and I won, and I had a big celebration because just like 20 minutes after arriving in the finish, the first man from the 200 miles came. So everybody was excited already. So I had my big party, and it was just really cool. But then afterwards, I was completely dead. Like I was lying in in the grass, and people were asking me, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Please, I just can't talk. I need a bed. I need a toothbrush." Yeah, but yeah, it was massive, and it was a big moment, and I think it was also the biggest achievement in my sporting career so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment to watch. And on those last 10 hours that you said were grueling, what was going through your mind and what was you feeling in your body? You said you're having pain. Was it your legs? Was it sitting in the saddle?
Yeah.
Was it everything?
Yeah, it was like I had big saddle issues. Like it was very uncomfortable. And then my legs wasn't that, like they weren't painful. It's just the whole body. It's just so dead. Like you didn't sleep. You like a very bad thing was these long straight roads. And when it started to become light again, I was like, oh, come on, where's the sun? I need some sun. And then it was just cloudy. So it didn't give me any energy. And then,
that's tough.
yeah. And then also I think I didn't eat enough. So my body itself was just super tired and I wasn't like fueled enough. So it was just very uncomfortable. And I think the biggest problem was sitting on a saddle in this case. Yeah. But yeah, I also knew if you continue, you're gonna win actually. Like there can't happen that much. Only like if there's a big mechanical or something. But I knew if I just continue that's my win. And that was like my motivation to continue.
And after this experience, did you change your saddle? Do you have any new techniques for that not to happen?
Yeah, actually afterwards, when I did Badlands, which was like even longer, I hadn't had these problems because I just took more care of that it's always clean. And in this case, I also changed the bibs, and that helped a lot just to have some wet wipes with you. And then if you go for a pee, just clean everything. That's very important. And then that was much more better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good advice because I think sometimes we're in a hurry or tired or, want to save time and don't do things properly. And sometimes if you, quote unquote, waste a minute to do it properly, you actually gain time.
Exactly. And that was something I learned out from Unbound, and I could do it better in Badlands. Great. Because sometimes, like you're saying, like you go for 1 minute faster, but then in the end, it's so much worse because you just try to save 1 minute somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And is there any favorite race so far that holds a special place in your heart?
Yeah, of course. There are actually some, but there's one very big one in my heart, which is very emotional. And it was Trucker in 2023. It was Trucker 200. And I became, I was second, but my parents were there and they came to Girona to cheer for me. And I get goosebumps by telling the story, but it's such an emotional race. And then when I realized I'm gonna finishing on the podium, I started crying, and it was maybe 30 Ks before the finish line. And I knew, okay, if you now go and there's nothing big happening anymore, then you're gonna finish. And your parents are waiting there, and my best friend Finja was in the finish line. Yeah, and then I started to cry already when I reached this area, and then everybody was there and was celebrating me. It was just such a cool event. And then also it was my very first big race from the Klassmark series. And like I said already, this event and the people around there are just so nice. And then they interview you. And yeah, so the Trucker was a very big moment in my life. But also Unbound, of course, because it's just a big win. And then, yeah, I think Badlands this year was also very, such a big event in my life.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it makes very special, and it's core memory when we have, someone special there on the finish line waiting for us.
Yeah, that makes it super special. Like my mom's often joining me, and she's like often driving the car to get to races, or often also with the airplane she's joining me.
Nice.
I really like it if she's with me, and then we're like a team, and she exactly knows what she has to do without big like telling her. And it's always nice to have her. And like if I race and I know she's on the finish line, it's always a like very great feeling. And in this case, it was my dad as well, so that was even more special. So yeah, that's a big influencing part. If there's people who are like in a like emotional connection to me, then it's always a bit cooler or a bit nicer than if there's no one.
100%. Yeah. And are there any races on your bucket list that you haven't raced before?
Yeah, there are also quite a lot of races on my bucket list. There are a few ultra races I really want to do. For example, Atlas Mountain Race. I'm not 100% sure if I want to race it as a race or if I just want to go there and do it as a tour and just enjoy it. Because when I think back to Badlands, it was horrible, and I don't know if I want to have this again. On the other hand side, I would like to do it as like very fast. So it's a bit like there are two hearts like, yeah, it's like the racing hard and the enjoying hard. So this is difficult, but there's many races. So for example, in Norway, there's a big ultra race, and also like, yeah, there's some, yeah, I would say there are more ultra gravel races on my bucket list than I would say like smaller races.
Well, the one in Norway, Bright Midnight. Yeah, I'm been talking to Justinas. Maybe I'll go for 2026. I can't this year, so yeah. It's also, I think for me, of course, it's beautiful and it's Justina's, but a big attraction is the daylight, almost 24/7. I think that you can see much more, and also for me, will give a sense of safety. I mean, of course, Norway is a safe country, but just as a woman alone, I think Wolver talked about this on the podcast, but I'm always a little afraid. So that's on my list as well.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Like it's many cool advantages with the light and also the scenery in Norway. So I was actually thinking about doing it this year, but it's not in the holidays. So I have to postpone it to another year. But yeah, I think this is like a cool event to do or race. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Any projects or upcoming races that you're extra hyped for, or you haven't planned anything because you're still juggling the new schedule?
I have a plan for this year. Of course, it's like a bit uncertain how fit I will be there and how it will work out in the end. But there's, of course, Draka this year. And I hope there's the Draka Adventure this year with the 560. So I really want to go there.
Yeah.
And I think this is a distance which suit me quite well. Then there's also the hills coming up, which is like another very big event, and I think everybody's there. So I think this is just...
Which one is this one? The hills?
The hills in Italy, from the Marchi.
Okay. That's right. Yeah.
And I think everybody who rides a gravel bike is there and there for this event. I think the Marchi did a very good job, and I think it's a big event. So I'll be there, and hopefully I just meet the people, say hello, and have a nice race. And then also in the summer, there's the migration race in Kenya.
Yeah, and I done that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I really want to do it because I think it's such a big adventure. Like it's not only racing. It's
magical.
Like, it's magical. So that's on my bucket list for this year. So, and it's in the holidays, so it could work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite races ever. They were inside National Geographic magazine. I mean, you're riding your bike along zebras, giraffes, and elephants, and the Maasai are amazing. I can't speak highly enough about this race. The organization, I mean,
Nice.
being that you're in the middle of nowhere without resources, this organization, I mean, chapeau, hats off, like, it's really, really well organized. So much food. And the format of being a stage race, you're together with the same group of people, of riders, for 4 days. It's really fun.
That's super cool. That sounds very good. I'm excited. Yeah, that's what I heard. And this is a bit like the race in Iceland. It's not just a race. It's like an adventure. It's like a big experience, something you will never forget. And
yeah, you won't.
Yeah,
you won't. But Dimaki is also doing amazing things. I mean, they are doing the Enough Festival. They have also the memory race, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there.
So, yeah, and then I don't know if I can do it this year, but there's actually the plan to do Badlands in Uptime.
I have some fire chat questions for you.
Okay.
All right. So, biggest race day ritual?
I think like I need to get up early, like early, and to have a like proper porridge or breakfast. And then I'm always very structured. Like I need my time. I hate stress. Yeah. And then just I'm always known for the one who is like riding a whole race before the race, because like doing a proper warm up. Yeah, I would say this is something I'm like known for, like a long warm up and no stress.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you there. I hate rushing. It does stress me out. So yeah, a few extra minutes or an hour before the usual time just to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Have you ever had any mechanical? And if so, can you share the worst mechanical disaster you have ever had?
Yes. So actually, like until now, I was super lucky in races to don't have that many mechanicals. But I had one very bad one this year, like in 2024 during the Rift. Like it was such a good race. I had super good legs. I was like in a good group. And then after I think 80K or something, my hub in my back wheel just got destroyed and it just didn't work anymore. So I stopped on the middle on the volcano, like in nowhere's land. And I walked for like 1.5 hours to the next station where actually like some people were waiting just to like for safety reasons. And then I just dropped out of the race. But yeah, this was one of the only and worst mechanicals I had so far in a race.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer.
That was really unfortunate.
Yeah. At Migration, there were so many horror stories of so many flats, people getting so many flats. And so I was terrified and I kept on thinking, please I don't want to have a mechanical. I don't want to have a mechanical. But it was so hard that at a point I was like, I hope I have a mechanical. I just hope I have a mechanical so I don't have to do this anymore.
I know this feeling. I had it a few times already when I was like suffering so hard and you're like out of order and you're like, please give me a puncture. I want to stop.
Yeah.
But
no mechanicals, so I kept going. So all good.
But that's also part of gravel racing. I think this is
right
because it's very unfortunate and in the end you're super sad about it. But yeah, it's sometimes just it's a bit of luck and also a bit of like if you can fix it or not. Yeah, it's
true. It's part of the game.
It's part of the game, exactly.
Yeah. Any dream race destination?
There are also quite a lot. I would always go to Norway. Like Norway is my absolute favorite. But if I'm gonna go for a big travel, then I would go to Canada.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Interesting. One piece of gear you can't live without.
Gear.
Or something, it doesn't have to be gear, but something that you can live without while riding your bike or on a race.
It's not not only connected to like riding a bike, but I think I couldn't live without coffee.
It is connected. I think so. Well, which maybe I will know the answer to the next one, which is coffee ride or interval session.
I go for an interval session and afterwards I go for a coffee. But to
sounds like
be
a good
honest,
compromise.
For a coffee ride, like at the moment, I don't really have time for a coffee ride. And a coffee ride in a rush is not a coffee ride, so you need some time. But if you can go for a coffee ride with friends, it's a very, very nice thing. I like it.
Yeah. Post-race, beer, burger, or straight to bed?
I would say after race, I'm often very emotional. So there's definitely not go to bed. I'm often also very hyped and everything is excited. But since I do take care of my nutrition, there's also probably no beer and no burger. Yeah, but I think it's fine if you just have some party after a race and just do what you feel for and just don't stop about just do what you want. So if you want to have a beer, then just go for a beer.
And what's the most ridiculous thing you have ever packed for a race?
I would say I packed my toothbrush when I went for Iron Gravel, which was a 300K. And I thought maybe I need a toothbrush because after some hours of riding, I want to clear my teeth. But in the end, I didn't need it. I was like, for 16 hours, you don't need a toothbrush. Yeah, but I had it with me. Better safe than sorry.
That's not ridiculous, but yeah. Oh, it's been so nice to get to know you and have this chat with you.
Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, I wish you an amazing 2025 season as a privateer. I'm really looking forward to see what you bring this year, and hopefully we can chat at the end of the season.
Yeah, thank you so much for your wishes and also your nice words. And I hope we can meet at some point and then just have a chat.
I would love that. Well, I'm in Girona, so hopefully you'll come to Traca or to just ride some time here. You have to let me know.
Yes, I will do that. That would be really nice.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's all for today's episode. I want to thank the listeners for tuning in. Your support means everything. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider following, leaving a review, and sharing it with your friends.